You must heed the warning. You must heed the warning. You must heed the warning.
If the church's voice is not strong, if Christians are not strong in media, in law, in politics, then the light very quickly goes out in a nation.
I come from a land that brought this nation the gospel. My nation has turned her back on God.
실제로 제가 살고 있는 벨파스트의 큰 교회 목사님이 이슬람교는 이교도며 마귀에 속한 것이라고 설교를 했는데 이것이 이슬람교인들에게 혐오를 줬다고 해서 경찰에서 이 목사님을 소환, 조사하는 일이 일어났었습니다.
Yes. Well, it may seem very surprising, but England has moved very rapidly away from her Christian roots in the parliamentary systems and the judicial systems. And so what we have seen, and particularly with the legalisation or the recognition of homosexual partnerships, all around the issue saying that these are rights, what we've seen is that Christians, just for living out their faith and speaking out their faith, find themselves in trouble. Find themselves losing their jobs because they cannot do certain things, they cannot facilitate homosexual practice, so they lose their jobs. And so as a result of this, and other things, so Christian unions being removed from student unions, and in the melee of that, what I began to see in the mid-1990s was a huge liberalisation of the law with regard to the protection of life, to the protection of the unborn child, sexual liberation, but really sexual slavery, but increase in biotechnologies, IVF-type technologies, which made it possible for anyone to have a child, and then moving into the wholesale redefinition of marriage, which isn't just about the redefinition of marriage or giving rights to homosexuals, it's about the obliteration of family. It's about the abolition of civilization in your nation. Because God's model for life and for freedom and for family, for the flourishing of all, for those who believe and those who do not believe, is this model of a man and a woman leaving their families, cleaving to one another and having children within that construct. And of course in the 1980s that really was we still weren't into the era of rights. That was really, the change was very rapid. And I would say that from when you enshrine rights, human rights legislation, to then enshrining, to then approving of homosexuality in law, protecting it, which is what civil partnerships does. You now say this is an approved act, and it's about the act. Once you do that, I would say you have, well, we had 10 years, but it's taken 10 years to lose almost all our social anchors. I would say if South Korea does it, then it's going to be even more rapid, because the world is getting faster and faster, and the changes happen faster and faster. But we have to remember that it then has an impact way beyond just marriage. It has an impact on children, because then comes the push to have children, which is very strong, because now you can have children because it's possible, because you can have them by way of donor sperm, you can have them by way of surrogacy, everything. You can have them by way of fostering.